When it comes to the amount of alcohol consumed, Americans are actually kind of sober. Out of the world's 191 largest countries, we rank 48th for the amount of booze we put back each year. We got nothing on countries like Russia and in Eastern Europe, who literally drink us under the table daily. Did you know that just under 1 in 5 American adults drinks unhealthy amounts of alcohol? When we define excessive drinking, we mean binge drinking, which is 5 or more drinks at a time, and heavy drinking, which is 12 or more drinks per week. Some of you are looking at this right now going, Jesus, I am off the charts here. It's okay, always inebriated guy. You're just being you. So grab that 12-pack, bottle of Jack, and box of wine, and try to remain upright long enough as we bring you America's cities. We begin our booze cruise through the USA in one of many Wisconsin cities to make our list, Milwaukee. That's not a surprise, is it, people? Makes sense. I mean, there was a television show about 2 women who worked in a beer factory in Milwaukee. In Milwaukee, 23% of adults regularly drinks to excess, which means nearly 1 in 4 people gets wasted at least once a week. But as you'll see, that ain't nothing yet. Milwaukee's also tied with Green Bay for the number of bars and restaurants per capita too. That means there's plenty of places to get your hangover started. Daily. Milwaukee's home to many beers. Schlitz, PBR, Miller High Life, Milwaukee's Best, some stuff called Blatz. The damn baseball stadium in town's named after beer. What kind of message does that send anyways? This isn't the last time we'll visit the drunks in Wisconsin. Oh yeah, we'll be back. How about we do a little day drinking? Folks in Nebraska find the bottom of the glass quite often, apparently, when you look at the data. 23% of people in Lincoln reported over-drinking at some point during the week. Like many of the cities on this list, college students have a lot to do with the drinking in Lincoln. The University of Nebraska has more than 26,000 students on its Lincoln campus.
A recent study indicated half of college students drank to excess at least once in the last month.
Thanks, Mappy. I'll bet you weren't one of them, though. You seem like you were a total dweeb.
Hey!
People lobbied for the ability to drink in public in Lincoln, and the city caved. You can now walk around in Lincoln's rail yard district downtown with a drink in your hand. Johnny Carson's from Lincoln, and he drank a lot. Overall, as a state, Nebraska ranks 5th in the nation for number of binge drinkers. Other signs you're from Lincoln? You have the back roads memorized. You met all your best friends while drunk. And they know your name in at least 5 different dive bars in town. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. For the first time on our tipsy tour of America, we leave the Midwest and head all the way up to Watertown, New York. There's certainly drinking a lot more than just water here, pal. 23.5% of residents in the greater Watertown area reported over-drinking during the week. Does anyone know the percentage of driving deaths that involved alcohol in Watertown?
I was gonna say that.
Shut up, Mappy. Thanks, Chip.
No problem.
Metro areas with high excessive drinking rates are often wealthier than areas with healthier drinking habits. Watertown's an exception. The typical household in Watertown earns $45,000 a year, the lowest median income of any city in our list. So while they don't have a ton of extra spending money in Watertown, the disposable income they do have here is spent at the bar, apparently. You look like I need a drink. Back to the Midwest we go as we take a wobbly pee break in the definitely drunk city of Iowa City, Iowa. Here, 24% of residents claim they drink to excess weekly. But while Chip pointed out that 1/3 of all traffic deaths involved a drunk driver in Watertown, here in Iowa City that number is exactly half. So people in Iowa City are responsible drunks then?
Men want me. Men love me.
Well, at least she isn't driving home from the bar. That's good. Like many college towns, the Iowa City metro area boasts a high concentration of bars and restaurants. There's an estimated 387 places to drink in the area, which is well above the national average concentration of 184 places. And if you Google Iowa City drunk, you get all sorts of results. What the? Even the school teachers are getting popped in Iowa City while at work. Apparently, the University of Iowa briefly dropped out of the nation's top party schools, and they're selling these t-shirts in town to try to bring awareness to this very fact. Who's the 6th most hammered city in America? That would be the folks up in Grand Forks, North Dakota, that's who. Yeah, we're talking about you, Grand Forks guy. Here, 24.5% of people reported getting sloshed on a regular basis. Sounds like fun? Well, what else is there to do in Grand Forks except toss back 5 bourbons, 5 shots, and 5 beers every day? Of course, whenever there's a bunch of sloshed citizens, you're going to see a college campus nearby. In this case, it's the University of North Dakota.
Did you know that there's 11 outdoor skating rinks in Grand Forks, North Dakota?
What does that have to do with anything, Mappy? We're not even talking about ice skating or even skating in general. North Dakota has a long, storied history of drunk driving. The state always ranks in the top 5 in the nation for DUIs per year. However, lately, things have moved in a positive direction. More options like Uber way up here means people don't have to wait around for an hour in the snow to get a cab. Welcome to Missoula, Montana, our 5th drunkest city in America. Now, if you've ever been to Montana, you'd know. People here drink beer like it's their job. However, the bad side of all that beer chugging is the number of pop drivers. At any given time, odds are that guy in the pickup truck behind you has a beer buzz. You used to be able to drink and drive in Montana, up until 2005 anyways. People in Missoula didn't measure distance in miles or hours. They used to measure distance in beers. Missoula to Bozeman, that's about 8 beers. However, 42% of all driving deaths in the Missoula area are still due to drunk drivers. And that's not even the worst rate in America either. Missoula actually has more bars and restaurants per capita than any other city on this list, which might explain why you'll see grandpas throwing back whiskey with their grandkids.
It's a family tradition.
Drunk on a Tuesday? Then you might live in Appleton, Wisconsin. In Appleton, a whopping 27% of people say they drink to excess regularly. Appleton is one of only 5 metro areas nationwide where more than 1 in every 4 adults drinks a lot. Tinder is probably a real doozy every night.
Drunk. He's hammered. Wow, he's plastered. He'll do.
If you're a deer, you want to stay off the roads at night here. Heck, if you're anyone, you want to stay off the roads in the Appleton area at night. There's a lot of college students around and a bunch of places to get cheap beer in Appleton, so it makes sense. In fact, Appleton has the 9th highest concentration of bars in the nation. I'm used to being the life of the party. What does an Appleton drunk do when he gets cut off from the bar? He goes to the next one. Back up to North Dakota we go one more time as we're almost to the bottom of the glass. Fargo, North Dakota certainly knows how to party. 27.5% of the population refuses to stay sober. Twitter had many moments of note. Megan Talat found a drunk lady under her car in Fargo once. A Fargo surgeon apparently likes to cut on people under the influence. And Sexy Mexi points out that getting hammered is just a way of life in Fargo.
Did you know Fargo, North Dakota has a 10% divorce rate?
Thanks, Mappy. Good point. Studies show that couples that drink more regularly have a much higher chance of divorcing. Red Solo Cup, I lift you up. Which city in America just couldn't toss back one more drink each night? That would be Madison, Wisconsin. Hot damn, Madison. You are tore up from the floor up. 28% of people in Madison admit to getting plowed every week. This moderately wealthy city is home to the University of Wisconsin, which sure likes to get after it. Recently, UW dropped from 1st to 8th on Princeton Review's list of biggest party schools, which is probably the reason Madison didn't win this whole thing. Again, the state's lax drinking laws certainly contributed to the number of people who are drinking every week. Did you know teens can order a drink at a Wisconsin bar if they're with their parents? Hey Chip, how many beers does it take to get the average Wisconsin guy intoxicated?
32 beers.
How far do we have to try to drive to get to our last drunkest city in America? Not too far at all. It's Green Bay, Wisconsin. Not a shocker. In Green Bay, 28.5% of residents have a drinking problem. But even more alarming is the number of drunk driving related deaths. More than half of all driving fatalities in Green Bay are due to drunk drivers, by far the highest rate in America. So while Green Bay residents get party points, they lose them because they're so stupid they get behind the wheel after crushing a case of Milwaukee's best. Green Bay's the kind of place where people are drunk at 9 a.m. Way to go, Green Bay. You certainly put the hang in hangover. What's the deal with Wisconsin anyways? It's almost socially encouraged, and it's a pastime that Wisconsinites have embraced as part of their state identity. That's it, our look at America's drunkest cities. Feel free to Mappy, how many beers is that for you today?
Only 4, but these are IPAs, so technically 6 by volume.
Well, if you live in Wisconsin and you're still sober enough to hold your phones up to watch this, thanks for making it to the very end. And to help out a little bit, below this video in the description are links to Mothers Against Drunk Driving resources in the states we talked about. Hey guys, if you learned something new or you just like this video, make sure to like it. And if you really like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get all of our videos about what it's like to live in different places in America. Peace.